Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's tutorial. And in today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to make this beautiful outfit with a keyhole neckline. And if this is something that you'd like to learn, before we get right into the video, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel, because a lot of amazing videos will be coming or will be dropping on this channel. So without wasting your time, let's just get right into the video. So we are going to start by rolling our starting line, which is also our shoulder line. So from our starting line or our shoulder line, we are going to mark our shoulder to our bust point, and we're using a princess dart for this tutorial. Our shoulder to our bust point to under bust, then waistline. Then I'm adding about 8 inches for the back line. So this all depends on how you want it to be. So I added about 8 inches for it, so I'm just going to mark. So the length of my upper bodice is 27 inches. So I'm just going to roll the line, which are my vertical lines, and from these lines I'll start taking every other measurement. After that, we're just going to mark our shoulder measurement divided by 2, but from the bust point we're going to come up by 2 inches because we are going to have our chest line or our armhole line as well. So after doing all of that, the next thing we are going to do is our shoulder measurement divided by 2. We are taking that again on the chest line. So we are just going to mark our shoulder measurement divided by 2 and then roll a line so we can form our armhole line. After doing that, we're using a standard neck width of 3. I use 3.5 to 3.5 width and 3 inches depth. So whichever way you want it to be, whichever you want the neck width to be, and I just made a curve. Because our shoulders are not straight, I stepped down by 1 inches. Whatever you want to step down with, it's fine. And then I made a slant, and then whatever is left, I'm just going to divide that into 2 and then mark the midpoint and then come out by 0.75, just like so. And then on my chest line, the next thing I'm going to do is on my chest line, I'm going to divide my bust measurement divided by 4, and I will mark just like so, and then I will connect all of these marks together, which are my chest line divided by 4, meeting with that 0.75, and then taking it to the shoulder slant. So I'm just going to connect just like so with the straight rule. You can see we now have our armhole line. After that, on the bust line, which is the second line, since I did not label, we're just going to do mark our nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 plus half inch. And then on the under bust line, which is the third line, we're going to mark our exact nipple to nipple line. We are taking that to the fourth line, and of course the fifth line, which is also the full length of the blouse. So I'm just going to connect just like so, meeting with them just like so, and then curve, make a slant curve, not really like a very deep curve, make a slant curve meeting with the 0.75, just as we did earlier. So automatically we have gotten the center front. So now for the side front occupies the fuller side of the bust. So we are going to start by creating a dart from the bust line, and I'm working with, I mean, from the under bust, and I'm using 2.5 because I am busty. I am a bust 43, so I'm using 2.5. So I'm just going to mark down just like so, and then I'm going to rule a straight line. After doing that, so I'm going to connect that meeting with the bust line, under bust to the bust line, and I'm using a curve. You can use your free hand, so you can see that we have both our center front and that of our side. You can see how it is. So we have both our center front and that of our side front. So after this, we're just going to take our body measurement, which I have taken earlier. I'm just going to add 2 inches sewing allowance, or whatever allowance that works for you. But for the under bust, after taking your, I mean, for the waistline, after taking your waist measurement, you are going to add that 2.5 that allowance which you took. And instead of running it straight to the full length, which is the M part, which is the part we added um, um, 8 inches, which is the full length of the upper bodies, we're just going to add extra 1 inches to what we have. Let's say you're going to use your hip line measurements just like so on that full part, because it's going to rest around the hip side. So you're just going to mark your hip measurement plus 2.5 or 2 inch sewing allowance. Now, because that part is going to rest around your hip side, except for people who, even if your backs will be starting or will be at your waist, just take the measurement like that, so you have some opening at that point, so that side will not be too tight for you. So we are just going to cut out just like so, as you see me doing. So now we have drafted out our front bodies, which is our center front and our side front. So we are using these front bodies which we have drafted out to make our back body. So I'm just going to place just like so and cut out. This is the side and for the side back, but the bust I'm just going to bend down just like so, and then I'll curve. If you want a detailed one, you can check my previous videos. I have all of that. So for the um center back, we're just going to add our zipper, and because we don't want any zip bulgeness, we're just going to come in by 0.75 around our waistline just like so. And then on the waist side, because we have taken out 0.75, we're just going to replace that 0.75 again, and then take it in just like so, as you see me doing. So after that, we're just going to cut out, and automatically we have both our front and that of our back. So we're just going to cut out just like so. And then we, for the neck of the back, coming down by 2 inches will be completely fine, so it will not be very tight at the back area, except you want it to be very high. So the next thing we're going to do is to add our wording to it, since we're working with a breast pad. So now this is what it looks like after I've gone ahead to pad. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm reducing the breast pad a little bit because of our keyhole neckline at that point. So after doing that, we're just going to lap our front bodies just like so, as you see me doing like that, placing the breast, like looking for the midpoint. Exactly, you're just going to look for the midpoint, putting both busts together. So after that, the next thing, I'm just pressing down with the iron so I can have like the midpoint. And exactly what we are doing for the main material, the main bodies, we are doing that also for the lining as well. You know, we'll be using the lining to turn the keyhole neckline, so we'll be cutting the both of them together the same time. So now, before we mark the keyhole, I'm coming down by 2 inches, and then for my hole opening, I came down by 5 inches. Like this all depends on how you want it to be. And for the opening, for the length, I came down by 5 inches, and for the opening, I'm using an opening of 1 inch, but I'm giving it like a cave cup, a curve. I'm not making it straight, so you're just using your hand to make it curved. Now, whichever shape you want it to be, you can work on it right now. Like if you want it to have a love shape or any shape that you want it to be. So after that, because like I said, we're cutting the main material and the lining together, we're just going to place them together, and then we are just going to cut open just like so. And I will also advise that you don't make the opening to be too wide, except when you want to turn with the lining. You can widen it that way. If you widen from the cutting, like it will be too wide or thereabout. So this is what it looks like. So the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to use the lining to turn it. Just watch what I am doing. So we are just going to turn with the lining, just as you see. Now at this point, whichever way you want it to be open, you can make it open. So now this is what it looks like after I turned it with lining. So you are just going to use your scissors to notch just like so. So the reason why I'm notching is because I want it to relax very well, and then you trim off every excess that you have. Please don't trim off so much so it does not get torn or something. So you're just going to notch, and then watch the way I'm going to turn the lining to and the main material. So we're just going to take the lining and pass through that hole back again, so we can cover the other side of it, so you can see how it's now looking neat. So after doing this, this is like a neat way of making a keyhole neckline with bustier. So we're just going to iron, and now at this point you can use your hemming gum so it can just sit properly, although I did not use that. But if you're working for a client, an outfit for a client, I advise you do that so it sits properly. So now the next thing we are going to do is to turn our neck. Now for our neck, I'm still ironing. For our neck, the next thing we will do is for us to meet the midpoint. We're placing the shoulder together, and then we are going to notch the midpoint just like so. And then just watch closely what I am doing. Now you're just going to pick the main material and the lining together, and then you flip them right side facing each other just like so. Remember the side that we notched, so we are just going to pin. If you want, you I think pinning before sewing works very well, so you can have both the lining and the main material together. You're just going to pin until you get to that notched part. You cannot rush, the neck one time because of the technical way we are using to get a neat neck finishing as well. So you're just going to flip. The moment you get to that notch part, which is the center part of our blouse, you just stop and then you will sew. So this is what it looks like after I had sewn one side of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and then notch. You can as well join your hemming gum before sewing, so and sew with your hemming gum so it can sit very well. So now you can see how it is. I have flipped to the other side. You can see one side of it is now looking smooth, so we are just going to press with our iron just like so, and then we will work now on the other side. So now exactly what we did for the other side, that's what we are going to do. We are just going to flip right side facing each other just like so, placing shoulder to shoulder, and then I'm using my pin to support because it's easier that way. So you're just going to pin until you get to that other part which you start sewing. Now for this other side, you can as well sew from where you stopped to the upper part of the shoulder, so you can have like same line or something. But if you can start from the shoulder meeting with that same line again, it's completely fine. Our aim is to just have a neat finishing, so whichever way you work on it, it is fine. So we are just going to stitch on it again the way we did on the other side. So I'm creating some notches so it will be relaxed by the time I flip to the other side. So now you can see how it is. We have a neat keyhole neckline, and we also have a neat neckline. So you can see what it looks like. So we're just going to press with our iron. That's why I said you should add your hemming gum to it so everything can just sit very well. You can see what the lining looks like inside, everything looking neat. So now for our backs, we will come up by 4.5 or 4 inches. It all depends on how high you want the side of your backs to be. And then if you want a curve, you can just make a curve just like so, and then you cut out. But if you also want an angle, when I say curve, you can see how it is, like the center part is not really that sharp. But now if you want it to have that V back shape, you can now place together just like so, and then slice out again. That way you can make the sides to come up compared to the center front. So you can see how it is. We now have our backs waistline. So after doing that, the next thing we are going to do is we are just going to do the same thing which we did for the front for to the back, because we'll need both the backs for the front and also for the back. But remember your zipper. So you're coming in by exact zipper that you gave, and then arranging your shoulder to shoulder meeting together. And then the next thing you are going to do after arranging is to cut out, but from the zipper you make it straight and before cutting, so the zipper will be able to sit properly. So now we're also going to check our bodies if we have exactly what we measured with our allowances. So we are checking every other thing. Now I just stepped down my ample because I saw that I'm still 1 inch short, so you will check that so you can have your arm opening. So after doing that, the next thing we are going to do is we are just going to join our shoulder to join shoulder, and then we are still going to add our balloon sleeve. After doing that, the next thing we'll just close the side and then add the gathers to it. And now for the gathers, what we are going to do is we are just going to depend on working with 3 yards or 4 yards, depending on how full you want it to be. You're just going to fold that into four, because our upper bodice has 4 sides. So that's why I folded my material into four, two clap and then another two again. So after doing that, we're just going to notch. You see that we have 4 sides: the zipper, the middle, the center, and the other end. Those are the 4 sides I'm talking about. So I will notch. After notching, just like so, the open part is for the zipper. then this is another closed part. So now automatically I have 4 notches. So those notches, I am just going to place them one after the other from the zipper side to the side, to the center front, to another side again, and then to the zipper. Now the reason why we are doing this is so that we will have exact printing on every pleating on every side, not like one side will be fuller than any other side. So we are basically done with this tutorial. The next thing, we'll just go and stitch, and then we are done. So if you have stayed till the end of this tutorial, thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel, drop your comment, and I will answer. So you can see what it looks like. You can see how our keyhole is sitting neatly. So I actually made my own dress to be very long. If you don't want yours to be as lengthy as mine, you can as well divide the fabric into two, because if you use the whole 45 inches, this is the length you will have because of your back's length. So thank you so much, guys, and I will see you in my next video.